Okay, at this time I'd like to open the 2018 committee meetings. We're going to start with the Administrative Services Committee meeting tonight. At this time I'd like to call the roll, please.
Councilor Corradino.
Here.
Councilor DeMasi.
Here.
Councilor Hill.
Here.
Councilor Tesserero.
Here.
Councilor Wilmot.
Here. We have a add-on for animal shelter grant application that Mr. Justin Rudgick would like to speak.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to bring this off the floor. I do want to offer my apologies for bringing this off the floor. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of, many of you may or may not know, I'm moving into Oswego, and so I was in the middle of moving over the weekend, and I completely, unfortunately, dropped the ball with the communication. So I wanted to be able to bring this opportunity before you because it is time sensitive. There is a grant application due on January 10th for the companion shelter grant. And what that is Governor Cuomo, for the first time in the nation, well, Governor Cuomo is the first state, New York State, the first state in the entire nation to offer a capital improvement grant for animal control shelters. And so he set aside $5 million in his budget. And the way the city of Oswego's animal control shelter is providing service to 10 municipalities in the area, we're eligible for the maximum $500,000 grant. As part of this grant, there is a 25% matching from the city that would go towards that grant. So as you know, Carrie Anderson, the animal control officer for the city, has done a fantastic job with the limited resources that she has at the animal control shelter. She does a very efficient job, and this is an opportunity to be able to expand her operation, expand her services to provide a critical need for the community as well as the other surrounding municipalities. So one of the things, and I'll let Carrie talk a little bit more about the specifics of the what she's looking to improve. So we're looking at roughly a proposed preliminary budget of roughly $550,000. So 25% of that is close to $140,000 that the city would have to match towards that grant. And so what it is to expand the existing animal control shelter to provide 4 additional rooms and also to do facade improvement to make the facility look better. So I just wanted to present this opportunity to you. It is an interesting opportunity for the city of Oswego, for the animal control shelter, to be able to apply for this. And the reason why I come through the Administrative Services Committee is because we need the mayor to authorize any grant application submission through my office, as well as the city's contribution for the 25% match. So I don't know if you want to Carrie to talk a little bit about the benefits of this proposed grant. I'll let her do that.
Yes, Carrie.
Hi. So our shelter, as Justin said, we do a lot with what we have, but there's certainly major room for improvement, especially in the housing of the current shelter animals. One thing that the grant actually asked us to focus on is containment of shelter animals. And we follow a lot of the veterinary recommendations for shelter animals, but there's certain things that we have not been able to accomplish fully with the certain setup that we have. For instance, a lot of our cat cages are too small. We have a little bit of an overcrowding issue when it comes to the summer and when we get very busy. We have to have more space between our cages per recommendations and things like that. And having more rooms would allow us to not only spread out some of the animals, lower their stress levels, improve their health, things like that, but it would also help us get to our goal of as quick as of an adoption time as possible. You want to have to keep an animal at a shelter as quickly, as short a period of time as possible. Keeps them healthier, keeps them lower stress, saves the city money, things like that. So having this grant where we will be putting in addition, hopefully putting an addition on the building, we will be able to house sick animals away from the general population. We'll have an area for cats and dogs, and then we will also be able to house young animals under 20 weeks away from the general population, which is another recommendation that we're unable to accomplish with the current setup. So it has, major benefits to the animals, in getting them adopted faster, drastically reducing their length of stay, and in turn also saving us resources for medication. Our animals are going to be less likely to get sick. They're going to recover quicker. One of the biggest things that they've found with shelter animals is that stress is one of the major causes of illness in shelter animals. Very, very common in a shelter setting for animals to get upper respiratory infections, specifically cats. We see that a lot, but even with dogs. And lowering their stress levels, even doubling the size of their rooms, things like that, it has major benefits to their health and keeping them healthier, and they can get in and out a lot faster and save us all money and allow us to help more and all of the good stuff.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions for either Carrie or Justin on this topic?
Yes, I have a question for Gary. As far as the building itself, the way it exists now, adding on, how would that, the footprint be?
What we would ideally do is we'd be adding on to where the current garage is. And we have an outdoor kennel area that you actually all saw when you were just recently there, and much of that would be enclosed and turned into indoor rooms for the shelter. So it wouldn't really be extending the footprint so much of the building as it would be enclosing a portion of the building that already kind of exists as, the outdoor kennel roof. And that would keep the sick animals or the animals at high risk away from the general populations, which is, the ideal goal. The cat wing is to the right when you walk into the building, and this would be over on the left-hand side of the building, kind of through our kitchen or, so basically in that other area on the left-hand side.
Any other questions?
Absolutely. I just want to say 100% support it. I was absolutely impressed at what you did with such a small area with limited staff.
Thank you.
And how you cared for those animals. So I'm 100% for it.
Any other comments?
I just wanted to say I think it's a tremendous opportunity for the city, and I'm happy to lend my experience and expertise in helping to write this grant, secure this grant, and I think that's one of the functions of my office to identify things. Even though I'm in charge of economic development, be able to provide grant writing experiences to other department heads, I think is very valuable, and I'm more than happy to do that, and I relish this opportunity to help Carrie with the animal control shelter, and I think it's a tremendous opportunity for the city.
One quick question I have. You mentioned that it's $550,000 and 25% matching grant with the city. I'm looking for about $140,000 approximately.
Approximately. Right now it's preliminary estimates, so I'm trying to take this week to fine-tune that, but I wanted to, as part of the committee discussion, to kind of give you a rough estimate of what the total budget would be, so that way when the resolution comes through, you're not totally sticker shock, if you will, so you're prepared for that. So it might go a little bit higher, it might go a little bit lower. We're trying to fine-tune those numbers right now.
And I know this is still early on, but where would this approximately $140,000 come from?
So we come from the city through, we would have to talk to our city chamberlain in terms of, I will say the mayor, I did talk to the mayor, and the mayor supports this grant opportunity. So coming from the city, we can figure that out, whether it comes from as a budget amendment, reserve, whatever. I'll leave that to...
Because obviously we've already done the 2018 budget, and
Yep.
now you're throwing this in, and we have not budgeted for this.
No.
It isn't pennies here we're talking about.
Yep.
It is a considerable amount, $140,000. So.
As you know, most of the grant opportunities from a matching standpoint are typically not budgeted. For example, the waterfront grant that we secured last year, where the city provided a 50-50 match. My department was able to win $590,000. The city's going to need to provide a match of $590,000 towards that. That's not a specific budget item per se. So I just wanted to kind of draw that to your attention. So, when it comes to these kind of things, if we were to take a general budget year, 2019, 2018, 2020, this is, like I said, with Governor Cuomo, this is the first state in the entire nation that provided this capital fund improvement for animal control shelter. So it's an opportunity, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't seize on that opportunity.
What are the chances we would have to, by the time the grant got approved and so on, that money would have to even come out of this budget for 2018? We can figure something out for 2019, or does it automatically have to come out of 2018?
Most grants are typically done in a 24-month window. So a lot of times you take the first 9 months or so, That is the preparation for design, fee, like those kind of things to lay it all out. But the actual capital improvement typically don't happen until the following year. So that theoretically could be a 2019 item, so that way you can finish some, yeah. So, but I will say one of the good things about this grant opportunity is it's a very quick decision time. They're anticipating an award by the end of February, so which is uncharacteristic for most grant opportunities because most of them take 6, 9, 12 months before you find out if you're awarded. So we'll find out pretty quickly.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Seeing none? Can we, on and
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Testorio.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes. All right, I believe that was the... And you're going to take care of the... Okay, great, thank you. You already read my mind. I believe that was the first and the only item on the Administrative Services Committee for 2018. Is there any other comments for this committee at this time? Seeing none, I'd like a motion to adjourn. So motion. Second.
Counselor Corradino.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Testorio.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee meeting to order. Would you please call the roll?
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Could I please have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 20th, 2017 committee meeting?
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Is there any old business to come before this committee? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Under authorizations, item number 1. Thomas Kells, DPW Commissioner, has received a request from the Sea Cadets for use of the McRobey Building in 2018 for training drills, and there is an attachment. Is there anyone to speak on this item? Okay, I personally had several questions on this that I think are meant for Mr. Roth, who is the individual who's making this request. So my recommendation would be that we take no action on this at this time until we can reach out to Mr. Roth so that he can provide answers to those questions. Does anyone have any other thoughts on that, or are we in agreement? So we'll move on without taking any action. Number 2, Thomas Kells, DPW Commissioner, has received a request from Dennis Brady to place a memorial bench in memory of his wife, Billy Crandall Brady, and her dedication to the Oswego community, and there's an attachment. Is there anyone present to speak on this? Commissioner? The only question I had, there was a very specific location requested. Is that an issue, or is that... Okay, perfect. Did anyone have any questions? Or... Okay. Can I get a motion?
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot.
Yes.
Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Wilmot. Counselor DeMassey.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Yes.